Ugh. Oh my god. Oh. There. Okay. Today, I have so many things to say, but when I turn on the camera, everything right out of my brain. Anyway, today I have for you a video tutorial on how to make the Animal Crossing rainbow sweater. Yay! Here she is. I have this one, which is like the classic white rainbow sweater, and then, because I'm not like other girls, the special colors. It's very cute. I like it a lot. It's a really comfy sweater. It can be made with a wide range of sizes, so it can fit anybody. You can make one for your damn cat if you want to. Thank you! Come here! No, come here! Slayer! Hey! Sorry about that. It's like 5 in the morning, and this is the hour at which my cat comes out to play. He's watching me. Anyway, so yeah, this video accompanies the written pattern that I am selling on my Etsy and on my website. You should buy it. Both of those links will be in my bio. Actually, they'll be in the description.
Idiot.
So this is my first like real big pattern. I hope everything's clear. I hope you have no difficulty following these instructions at all, but
I'm a realist, alright?
I expect there are a couple of errors in there. So if there are, please let me know in the comments, or send me an email, or send me a message on, not on Instagram, I don't check those DMs. But yeah, send me an email or respond in the comments, and I will get back to you and help you and edit this video and the pattern as needed. So also, you can just follow this video tutorial and not buy the pattern. Oh my god, excuse me. You can follow this video tutorial and not buy the pattern, but you should buy the pattern because it supports me. It's only like $2. Yeah, I appreciate it. So please buy the pattern, but you don't have to. This video should cover everything, so.
Like and subscribe.
Anyway, okay, let's get into the tutorial. I totally forgot to mention what supplies you're going to need for this project. So what I used was a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. I used 5 colors of yarn, 1 skein of Super Saver Jumbo from Red Heart in black, and then I use 4 skeins of 1 of each color, so the hot pink, the baby pink, the purple, and the blue. I probably used like half of each of those skeins, so yeah, and that's a weight 4 yarn. You're gonna need scissors, stitch markers, and a darning needle if you're gonna need a darning needle to weave in your ends. So nice. So to start, we're going to chain in multiples of 11 to get our desired width. We're going to want to add a little bit of length because when we do the zigzags, it will end up making this chain a little bit shorter by a couple inches. So you're going to want to do a few extra, and then we're going to add 2. So for example, I chained 101. Now in our first row, we're going to start forming these zigzags by placing 2 single crochets in the second chain from the hook, and then single crochet 1 in each of the next 4 chains, skip 2 chains, single crochet in each of the next 4 chains, and then 3 single crochets in the chain after that. And then we repeat starting with that first group of 4 single crochets until there's one stitch left at the end, and we're going to place 2 single crochets in that last chain. And here's what that first little V should look like. And now that more of the row is coming together, you can very clearly see that zigzag pattern. Now in row 2, we are going to change colors. If you're changing colors, you don't have to, but if you're using 5 colors, you're going to want to change colors here and chain 1, turn, and repeat row 1. Now in row 3 through 37, we're going to just repeat that same pattern, and we're going to change colors every 4 rows. And again, this only applies to you if you are using 5 colors like I did in the pattern. You can use as many or as few colors as you would like. This would be an awesome pattern to use up some of your extra yarn from other projects. That would be a really cute sweater. But yeah, you can use whatever colors you want. Here is my panel, a good few rows in, and you can see that it kind of has this like accordion fold going on. That is completely fine. In my experience with the sweater, after wearing it a couple of times, after washing it and drying it flat, you can also block it if you want to. That should not be permanent at all. So unless your tension is like super tight, you should be alright, so don't worry too much about that. If your tension is really tight though and you're worried about it and you're not feeling good about it, just like use a half size larger crochet hook and that should be fine. And here we are at row 38 where we are making optional arm indents. If you're making a larger size like me, I highly recommend making these indents. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. If you do not make these armhole indents, you are just going to continue on to row 58, repeating that same pattern that you did starting at row 1. Now, if you are choosing to do these armhole indents, you're going to attach your yarn in the 11th stitch from the end, chain 1, and 2 single crochet in that same stitch. And now you are just going to continue that same pattern that you did before until there are 11 stitches left on that row, and then you're going to add 2 single crochets in that last or in that 11th stitch. Now in rows 39 through 58, we're going to continue changing colors every 4 rows and do the same thing we've been doing before, but now they're going to be a little shorter, so they're going to go a little bit faster. Your panel should look a little like this when you're done, but my dumb ass completely ruined the footage of me showing you how to fill in the valley, so I had to record it again. So I will show that to you right now. My dumbass also ruined the audio for the new video that I recorded, so love to see it.
Like and subscribe.
Now we are going to fill in our valleys. I am starting at the end of a row, so it's going to look a little bit different than it does in the middle, but I am including 2 valleys so that I can show you what it looks like when it's not on the end. So all we're doing is we're filling in this little V shape here with 2 very short rows. So in this first stitch here, we are going to slip stitch, and that is gonna act like our attach yarn step. And now we start our single crochets. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we skip 2, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and 1 slip stitch. And Now we chain 1 and turn, and here's where we begin our row 2. Careful not to single crochet into that slip stitch we just made. We are going to single crochet 2, skip 2, and then single crochet 1, 2, and slip stitch into that next stitch. And normally I would cut that there and tie it off, but you can see how nice that makes that little triangle look. It fills it in. Now I'm going to repeat that process on the other side so you can see where to attach that yarn. You're going to attach it right in the second stitch of that group of 3 stitches that is usually made at the peak. So right at the top stitch, you're going to attach your yarn with a slip stitch. And you can pull on the tail to tighten that up. And then we are going to do the same thing we did on the other side. Single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2, single crochet 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 1, turn, skipping that slip stitch, single crochet 1, 2, skip 2, single crochet, slip stitch. And again, this is where I would tie off. It looks nice and straight. Beautiful. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a nice straight base that we can work on top of, and anything that we put on top of these rows is going to look nice and straight and cover up any imperfections. Okay, now your panel should look like this. Awesome, good job. The bottom will still be all jaggedy. That's okay, we will take care of that later. Now make another one. I also suggest tying off all of your ends and weaving them in now so you don't have to do it later. I know it's everybody's favorite part, but do not save it for last. It will be a nightmare. I forgot about the shoulder. This is a very customizable step. I have recommended 22 single crochets, one based on the size of my sweater, which is probably like an extra large 1X, and the way I like my neck to fit, which is a little bit looser. So yeah. So basically what we're going to be doing here is we are going to decrease on all of the even number rows by 3 by slip stitching in the first 3 stitches of that row. And we are going to do that until row 8, which is just a regular row. It is not going to be a slip stitch row. After we've done all this on one side, we're going to repeat it on the other. We really want to make sure that it's not going to be too small, this neck hole that we're going to make, because we can make it smaller in the future. We cannot make it bigger. So make sure that it's big enough. Maybe make it a little bit oversized for you. And if it's uncomfortable and too big, we can fix that later. And you're going to want to do this on both panels as well. So you're going to do this a total of 4 times. On to the sleeves. Now I am going to roll the sleeve pattern out Star Wars style in a little bit, so you can like pause and write down or whatever as you need to, but I'm gonna explain a couple of things first. First is that these sleeve sizes are going to be about the same. I don't really think you need to alter the size. If you want to, increase, decrease by 11 chains in the beginning, same as before. The second thing is you are going to need to know how to do foundation single crochets. And if that sounds scary, it really shouldn't. It's super easy. If I don't do a very good job of explaining them, you can certainly find other better tutorials on YouTube somewhere. It is a worthy skill of learning. They're awesome. So we're going to start by, we have a row of single crochets here. Fixing my camera a little bit. So what we're basically going to do is we are going to go into one of those little V stitches that you can see in the side of the single crochet, if that makes sense. It is this little stitch right here on the side. So we're going to insert our hook right into that. This is the side of the same stitch, yarn over, and pull through that loop that we just went into. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. Then we yarn over and pull through both of the loops. And that is a foundation single crochet. Nice. Now I'll show you one more time. It's the same thing, so there's that one little stitch underneath in the side of that previous stitch that we made. We're gonna put our hook right into that little loop. It's a little difficult when you start getting out there, but you'll get the hang of it. Yarn over, pull through that same one little loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Bam! Another foundation single crochet. Again, I really hope that I demonstrated that well enough. If I didn't, I am sure you can find a really good tutorial literally from anyone else. I'm trying my best. But yeah, they're not that complicated. They're not that difficult to do. You'll get the hang of them. I think you only need to do like 6 total in this whole pattern. So even if you're not that good at it, just go for it. You can do it. Something else that I should probably explain about the sleeves is that you start at the bottom, so like the wrist area, and we are basically making it bigger. I don't know what else. I can't speak. I'm so tired. Okay, I'm starting over. So another thing we need to know about the sleeves is we are starting at the wrist, so the thinnest part, and we are increasing at the ends and making it wider as we go. But once you get like 2/3 of the way through the sleeve, you stop increasing and it's just straight rows, so it gets easier. It's just weird because of the little zigzags. Increasing is more complicated than it normally would be. So yeah, that's all. Now for the assembly part, I've made this little drawing for you. First, we're going to attach our front and back panels. We're going to sew them together at the shoulders. You can sew them together, you can slip stitch them together, however you need to do it is totally fine. Obviously just don't close the neck hole because your neck has to go there. Next we're going to sew our sleeves into the little indents that we made if we chose to make them. If not, it works the same way. You just attach them at the middle of the front and back panels. If you did choose to make the armhole indents, just make sure to sew that little edge that's left there onto the sleeve. Now to finish it off, all we have to do is fold our sweater inside out and sew up from the bottom of the two front and back panels and then down the sides of the arms. And now your sweater actually looks like a sweater, and that's so exciting. This is the most exciting part of the pattern because it all comes together. Again with the black yarn that you literally cannot see at all. I forgot to explain how the ribbing works. This is the same for your neck, for the cuffs, for the bottom ribbing. You're gonna start in your first row by attaching your yarn, preferably near a seam or on a seam if you can, and then you're just gonna single crochet all the way around. Now on your neck hole, remember we said if you make your neck hole too big, we can fix it. This is where we fix it. If it's too wide, you're going to decrease every like 2 or 3 single crochets in a second row. So you're going to add a second row, and you can do that at the cuff as well. If your sleeves end up being too big, they probably won't be, but yeah, you can do that at the bottom. You can do it wherever you want, just to decrease the size of that hole a little bit. First row we've gone around with single crochets. Our second row we've decreased as necessary. It does not matter how many single crochets are in this row or in either of these rows. We're just making a nice straight line so that we can start doing our front post and back post so we can start doing our front post and back post double crochets. Awesome. So then we start doing our front post and back post double crochets. I will show you how to do these in the next clip. In every row, you're alternating front post and back post double crochets, and then in the next row, you front post double crochet on top of front post. Why can't I say this? I struggled with this in the clip as well. You're going to, in your second row of front and back post double crochets, you are going to front post double crochet on top of front post double crochets from the previous row, and then you're going to back post double crochet on top of back post double crochets from the previous row. I am so good at this. Okay, so I have made a little swatch with a different color just so that it's a little easier to see. This is a little row of single crochets. So I have already chained 2 in my next row, and I will show you how to do front post double crochets and back post double crochets. So first we're going to do a front post double crochet, and this is going to bring the stitch forward. So we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to insert our hook right into the stitch like we would normally, and instead of yarning over again right here, we are going to put our hook through the other side of that stitch, which pulls it forward. So then we yarn over, bring our loop through, finish the double crochet as normal. Now it's the same for back post double crochet, but the opposite. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook from the back of the next stitch. The first row will be more difficult, and then back through the other side. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I keep going out of frame. I know I'm doing it.
You don't have to tell me.
But I am saving my money for an overhead tripod so I can do things a little easier and better. You can help me by checking out my Etsy shop and my website and subscribing and liking. So now, since we're alternating, we're gonna do another front post double crochet. So we yarn over, insert our hook, go through the other side, yarn over, pull through that stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do another back post double crochet. And another front post. Now on your cuff, it does not matter if you end with a front post or back post. On our cuff, when we get to the very end, all we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch to those chain 2 at the very beginning. And then to start our next row, we'll chain 2 and then repeat the previous row. This is what one row looks like of those front and back post double crochets. You can kind of see the ribbing effect that it has, and you can use as many or as few rows of these as you would like. If you would like a slightly longer cuff at the neck, at your wrists, at the bottom, feel free to use as many rows as you would like. Also, I forgot to mention that if you would like your ribbing to be a little smaller, a little tighter, you can just use a smaller hook. So, I hope that was good. I don't know how to end this video. I hope it was good. I hope you learned something. I hope I was thorough. I hope we had fun together. If you did have fun with me, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment telling me how fun I had. Again, this video accompanies the pattern, which is on my Etsy and my website, or you can not buy it at all. Also an option. So many choices here. I hope you enjoy your sweater. I'm gonna be enjoying mine. We're getting a snowstorm on Wednesday. We're supposed to get like 15 inches of snow. Don't be like that. Okay, bye. I forgot to mention you can follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I live stream sometimes. Anyway, yeah, those links will be in my bio. Goodbye. Not in my bio, in the description. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe.